David writes, "Hey guys, love the show. The trailer for Batman v Superman is amazing and I can't wait to see it, but it's not scheduled for release until March. However, it seems like the film is mostly done, with the exception of maybe a little bit of editing, so why wait 6 months? It seems like a November, December, excluding the 18th, obviously, or a January release would suit it just well and not have much of any impact on box office results. So why wait?"
Remember, they don't schedule studios, and it's a totally fair question because we've been asking, why are you putting off Batman versus Superman for a long time? We've been asking that question, but the reality is they don't schedule release dates based on when they think the movie's going to be done. There's a lot of strategy that goes into when will this movie perform at its absolute best, because believe it, whether you release a certain movie today or release that same movie 2 weeks from now, there could be a $6, $7, $8 million box office difference, all based on when you put that out. And if you don't think that $6, $7, or $8 million means the world to studios, you're wrong. It absolutely does. The brain trust at Warner Brothers felt like the optimum, the best release window for this movie is when they have it coming out. They knew Batman vs. Superman was going to be finished well before then, but they just felt this is the best time for this movie to come out when we believe we can make the biggest impact and make the most money on it. And that's the bottom line for these guys. So yeah, I would love it if they just surprised us all and like said, guys, October 18th, we moved up Batman. I would love it, but they seem to know what they're doing. Well, that's up for debate, but they seem to at least have a plan, and they're going to stick to that plan, and we'll just have to wait. Schnepp?
Yeah, they dropped remember that weird rumor, Enter the Night? It's like a two-part of people freak out, start crying. It comes out tomorrow. No, what? Yeah, I mean, originally they were going head-to-head with Captain America, so it was like May 6th. So that was their ideal date, but you know what? Honestly, I think they're gonna make another $300-400 million just because they moved it to March. They're going to just make it's just going to be an insane amount of money that this movie's going to make. I mean, we're all betting on it being really good. I mean, we're hoping it's amazing.
Yes, we are.
But I mean, the excitement level of seeing these two characters come together over all the years, you add up all the years you've been waiting to see this. It's an event film. So for them to come out in March when there's not that much there, really Deadpool comes out in February. So you have Deadpool, then you got this movie. So it's like everybody else should kind of clear and get out of the way for about 2 months. Then Cap comes in to scrape up the leftovers and get another $1 billion. It's going to be crazy. I think making that move to instead of moving it further down the summer line, then move it up, it was perfect. May 6th would have been the ideal spot, but I think they're going to actually come out the winners on this.
Yeah, I remember we were discussing this at the time too, because when the two movies were going to be going head-to-head, at the time, Captain America 3 and Batman versus Superman, they were going head-to-head. Look, Batman versus Superman was going to make more money. We knew that. But they needed it more than Captain America did. It was absolutely essential that Batman versus Superman move because Marvel wasn't going to move. And Batman vs. Superman, I believe, while it would have made more money, would have suffered more because they need this one more. And you're right. It was a great idea. Instead of pushing it further back into the summertime, move it a couple more months ahead. It got everybody more excited. It was a really good move at the time. And man, I can't wait to see this film. Anyway,
I say released it this weekend. Where are you at, War Games? Bring it on, perfect guy. Shyamalan would hate it. He's like, I finally made a decent movie. And then they got Batman v Superman dropping now. It'd be the coolest thing ever if they did that. I agree with you boys, though. It is a strategy. It's not just about making opening weekend numbers. It's about making an impact and having word of mouth and having people talk about how cool it was to see Batman go up against Superman, leading into all the other movies that the DC Universe is trying to establish. Don't forget, Suicide Squad is a big player in this too, because you don't want too much of a gap between when this movie comes out and when you get to see Suicide Squad. You want to get to know this universe again and then see all the other cool things that are happening in there. It does have a big step up on Captain America because it's coming out first, and it's going to have less competition in March or right now. It literally would have nothing.
I know.
Here's the thing. How much you want to bet this, though? If Batman versus Superman goes over well, okay, so let's make that assumption. That goes over really well and people love it. And people love Ben Affleck as Batman as much as these Warner execs say that everybody's going to love him.
They gave him a standing ovation, John.
Well, yeah, I should keep that in mind. If that's the case, how much do you want to bet that even though we all, I think, pretty much agree, Batman's presence in Suicide Squad is a small one. I think Affleck was only on set for a couple of days.
Right.
So it's a small one. But how much do you want to bet that if Ben Affleck goes over as Batman as well as we think he might, that at least 30 full seconds out of the next 2-minute Suicide Squad trailer will be Batman. At least. And I'm talking post Batman vs. Superman. This is after Batman vs. Superman comes out. I will guarantee you they will feature every second that Batman is in Suicide Squad will be in that trailer.
We're gonna literally have to break this down by the second because there's no way it's gonna be 30 seconds of Batman in a Suicide Squad trailer. But will you see him featured? I think you might.
Mark my words.
They might add
30
They
seconds.
might add a pickup scene. You know this one scene that we just quickly wrote? Can you be in this? It's a 2-minute scene. Yeah.